Hey math kids, this is part 2 of 3.F, solving system of equations, and I actually made a mistake, so I needed to erase that part of the video and fix the mistake. So we're going to start with this one. And, okay, so in this one we have a parabola and a line. I'm going to take all this stuff, plug it in for y right there. So I get 7 equals x plus 3x squared minus 5. So all of this stuff got plugged in for y, and we're left with this. Now in this case, the parentheses are redundant, so we can just ignore them. And we have an x squared, and a constant. So what that means is we actually need everything on the same side. And then -5 and -7 make -12. And then we have to plug it into the quadratic formula, which looks like this. If you're rusty with the quadratic formula, watch my video on that topic. But we're just going to go with a equals 3, b equals 1, because there's a ninja 1 right there, and then c -12. So I plug this in, I get a -1, plus or minus, and then I get 1 squared minus 4 times 3 times -12 all over 2 times 3. Okay, these cross, or they multiply together to make 6. This is 36, -36. -36 times -4 is 144, and 1 squared is 1, so it's going to be 145 when we add that. Alright, so now we're going to set up our final answer, even though we don't have all the pieces yet. Now I'm not going to make you plug this in over here. I would prefer you to find a decimal approximation of that. And so we're going to do that. So we're going to say -1 plus the square root of 145. Then we're going to divide that by 6. We're going to get 1.84. And then we're going to go back. And we're going to do -1 minus the square root of 145. And then we're going to divide that by 6. We get -2.17. Okay. And actually the issue I made, the reason why I had to break this into 2 parts is I forgot to divide that one by 6. It didn't show up on the other video because I cut it off, but just letting you know. So what we're going to do is take each of these and plug it in to this piece and then see what y equals. So y equals 3 times 1.84 squared minus 5. Go back to our calculator. 3 parenthesis 1.84 squared minus 5, and that's 5.16. And then we do y equals 3 -2.17 quantity squared minus 5. Go back here. We can actually say second entry and just change this to 2.17. Then I'll insert a negative and enter 9.126. Okay, actually 9.13. Let's do that. Okay, now we're going to go to Desmos and graph this, which is this situation. And if you see, it's 1.84 and 5.16, which we have here. And then this one up here, -2.174 and 9.174, you can see are the same as what we had here. Hold on. 2.174. 9 point. Yeah. So those are close. It looks like there's a little bit of like a rounding issue with this one, but it's because I rounded them too early over here. But you can see that we get essentially the same thing. So we're going to move on to doing just one more. And we have y equals 4x minus 2, y equals 2x squared plus 1. Alright, what I'm going to do now is set this equal to this. They're both equal to y. So I'm going to say 4x minus 2 equals 2x squared plus 1. Because we have an x term, a constant term, and a x squared term, we need to get everything onto one side because it's quadratic. So I do the inverse operator, so negative 4x and positive, negative 4x, positive 2. So this side becomes 0, and I get 2x squared minus 4x, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. Now we can plug this into the quadratic formula. A is 2, B is negative 4, C is 3. So we say the opposite of B, which would be positive 4 plus or minus the square root B squared, negative 4 squared, minus 4 times A times C, all over 2 times A. So on the bottom right there, this becomes a 4, this becomes a 6. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24, and then this would be 16. And so 16 minus 24, which is, what is that? That's negative 8. Okay, now on this assignment, we can actually stop right here. Once you get an imaginary number, we're only interested in real solutions. So we're going to say no real solutions. But let's still graph it to make sure that holds up. So y equals 4x minus 2. And then y equals 2x squared minus 5. Whoops, I mean plus 1. Sorry. I was like, that didn't hold up. Okay, so we can see that there's no real solutions because these never cross. So we zoom in close. You see they almost cross right here. They don't quite. And then as we zoom out, we see they never cross. Okay, so that's what gives us the no real solutions, because another way of interpreting that is that they don't cross. If you need additional help, please come to Math Lab. Until then, calculator.